Okay, friends, we need to have a tough conversation. Now, this video is not for everybody. This won't apply to everyone. But if it's for you, you'll know it. This is about those of us that have relationships with people who are resisting their growth. They're maybe on the opposite side of things as we stand. They are not doing the work to expand, to heal, to change. I get this question a lot whenever I talk about timelines and ascension, and there's a great concern about, well, what's going to happen to the people in our lives who aren't growing? There's no simple answer for this. And I've always given the positive, supportive ones that the people we love are going to stay close to us for as long as that relationship matters. And that is true. There's also a lot to be said for us allowing people to be where they're at and not needing to change them. And that comes from within. When we change ourselves, when we heal ourselves, we no longer need them to be who we're trying to force them to be. We no longer need that validation or that love in a very specific way. We can let go. We can let go of trying to force them to be who we need them to be and instead shift our connection to them in a way that allows us to receive the benefit from them in the way they are willing to give it. And so they are no longer responsible for filling our needs that come from wounding. I've also shared insights from Spirit, particularly in my May preview event, where they said that many people are not going to have their big awakening until the shift has already happened, until things start changing and they start to realize, oh, I actually do want things that way. So there's reason to have hope. But this is where we need to talk about the tough stuff. And your psychic big sis is going to sit here and hold your hand while I give it to you straight, but in a way that is loving and supportive. Sometimes the people in our lives who appear to be resisting their growth and change, it's not about them. It's that we are resisting doing the thing we know we need to do. We are the ones who are refusing to wake up to a bigger truth. And that truth often is that that person is not for us. That person that you are clinging to is never going to change. They're never going to be the person you want them to be or need or deserve them to be. Now, this is why I say, I don't know who this is for. You have to search within your heart to see if this is right for you. This will not apply to everybody. But for those it applies to, you're going to feel this. And I know because I can feel it. I can feel the energy on it. So many times in our lives, we have connections with people who are not right for us. They're not serving us. They're hurting us. And while sometimes in life, that's an opportunity for us to help them grow, more often, it is an opportunity for us to get strong, to set boundaries, to have the tough conversations, to end the relationship, to walk away, and to start over. And that is the work that so many people are still resisting. I say this with zero judgment, with a heart full of empathy. I understand how hard this is. Starting over is hard. It's devastating. It's shattering, especially when there are practical concerns like housing, finances, joint care of children. I am not saying this lightly that leave him, sis. Like, this is serious. This is one grown up to another. As a woman who's been in a marriage for 18 years, I understand how high the stakes are. But as a healer, I've seen this story so many times. And I've received the guidance from my clients' spirit guides for 9 years about the importance of this challenge and the necessity of doing the hardest thing imaginable, because that is what the situation demands, and that is what your soul is screaming for you to do. You know, for the longest time, I had this very dear friend, and we were sisters, couldn't have been closer than we were. We literally developed a telepathic bond. We can speak to each other telepathically. And for many years, I sat with her as she struggled to wake up, to see the truth about her relationship. And I saw how much she fought to resist the truth. Because I knew that once she saw the truth, that he was emotionally abusive, that he would never change. Once she fully accepted and realized that, her life was going to get incredibly challenging. So in the immediate moment, it did benefit her to stay asleep, to stay ignorant, and to do what she needed to do to stay in the relationship, to keep care of her children, to survive. We should never, ever shame ourselves from the self-preservation that we do. That's important. That's vital. We need to honor ourselves. But when the uncomfortable thoughts and feelings start, when we start to realize, when we start to see it, there is a lot of resistance and we want to shut it back down. We want to put it back in the box, but we can't. Once Pandora has opened that box, we can't. And I saw this dear friend through many years say things like, I can just manifest that he's going to have the change of heart. And my heart ached for her because as much as I wanted that for her, that is not how life works. When our soul is pushing us to see the truth and to stand up and be strong and to walk this path of the warrior, we cannot change other people. We have to deal with what's presented. Now, my friend did eventually fully wake up, and she did have to walk that hard path of separation. And I would love to be able to say that once she saw it, she was able to do the thing and life was great and she got her power back. And that's true, but not exactly true. Her life did implode, and she went through the hardest time of her entire existence that was full of hard times. And it was so crazy, chaotic, challenging that even our friendship didn't survive that period. So I had to watch her from afar as she went through this. But we have since come back into each other's orbit, and I've seen the growth, I've seen the progress, and she is now, years later, she is now living in that empowered, standing on her own 2 feet space. So I wanted to share that with you basically to let you know that I get it. I understand. I'm not judging. But also to let you know that if you start doing the thing and it gets incredibly hard, it doesn't mean it was the wrong decision. It doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong or that you've screwed it up and you'd be better off choosing another path. This is the path. Now, I haven't been through that particular challenge myself, but other challenges in my life where I was brought to rock bottom again and again and again, year after year, decade after decade of being brought to my knees. And that recurring challenge made me who I am today. I am strong. I am happy. I am unflappable. I cannot be moved off my purpose because I went through those challenges day after day, year after year. Walking a spiritual path does not exempt you from the hard things. It prepares you for the hard things. It gives you the strength to go through the hard things. It makes you the warrior that your soul is asking you to be. So if this message is for you, and if this is the growth you've been resisting, I am sending you all the love and courage in the world. But let this be your confirmation that it is time to open your eyes and to walk the path. And I'm sending you love while you do it.